It's the Digital Board Gamer with our week in review. So on Monday, we had Bunny Boom. Bunny Boom is free to play. It's a fast-paced 2 to 4 player game. Voted best with 2. Currently rated a 5.4 on BGA, 2.31, and 2 to 4 players, like I said. Alright, the goal of the game here is to manage and protect your bunnies while causing chaos for your opponents. You're going to be using this by triggering effects to make your opponents draw more bunnies, and the winner is the person that has the least amount of bunnies. On your turn, you're going to be placing one of the 3 cards in your hand. The cards look like this. You have to place them adjacent to the starting spot, and then you'll build out. When you place another card, you have to move your worker on top of it. When you do that, you activate the movement effects on cards you move over, which usually draw more bunnies and so on. Then there's river effects, which you'll trigger other cards that have river in this little draw pile here. You have 3 cards in your hand that you'll use and pick from. Once there are X amount of cards, in this case 2-player game, 6 cards out, you'll then start putting cards over other cards. And it's just a really chaotic, draw a lot of bunnies, and then like I said, whoever has the least amount of points wins. There are a bunch of variants on BGA. You see here, there's 2 different variants here, a mayor card, a joker you can add, and then if you're playing 2 players, you can actually make it 6 or 9 spaces to make it a little bit longer. Overall, the game is fast. I enjoyed it to an extent. I think it's a little too chaotic and crazy, but there is some strategy and some holding off of different cards until the second phase where you put cards over other cards to try to make your opponents draw more bunnies. Then we had Welcome 2. This is the 3rd game of the series, with the Welcome 2 series. This edition has 8 different distinct adventures, which kind of sets it apart. Think of it as 8 different maps for you to play on. They each introduce new mechanics and increasing complexity. There is an ability on the imprint version to play a campaign, but currently on BGA we're limited to just 3. There's quite a bit of talk about getting more of them on here, but it's going to be down to how popular the game is, because it all comes down to money. Is it worth their time to develop them, etc. Really well rated game, ranked 201, ranked 7.9, voted best 2 to 4. It is 1 to 6 player, and there's a solo mode on BGA. BGA says it'll take about 15 minutes. This is the first mission here, but each turn you're going to choose one of these 3 combos of cards, a number card and an icon, and then you're going to fill them out on your board here in the center. You have to write your number in ascending order, so lowest to highest. And once you complete these little rooms here, special things will happen, score points, etc. You complete the missions by filling your boards up. You have to be careful of these errors here. And then the highest score, of course, wins. Overall, I like this one. I like flip and write games. They're light, they're fun, they go quickly. I think they work really well turn-based. This is a game that works great turn-based because generally, especially 2 players, I play my turn, and then I'll get to play another one, and then my opponent will do 2, and so on. So it plays really well turn-based. So I gave this one an 8. So if you like roll and writes or any of the Welcome games, I think this one does add quite a bit to it. A little bit more complex. I think all of them have been slightly a little bit more complex. So if you played Welcome 2 and you're like, yeah, it's easy, blah, check this one out. Then on Friday, we had a combo. I mean, you can't read it here, but on the graphic, we had Aboretum and Tulip and Roses. So first up with Aboretum. Aboretum is a 2 to 4 player game, rated pretty well with 7.3 on BGG with 22,000 ratings, so it's not going anywhere, and has a complex rating of 2.12. It's voted best with 2, which I agree with, and it takes 19 minutes on BGA to play. It was released in 2015. It's a hand management, open drafting, set collection style game. In Aboretum, your goal is to create paths. Paths are cards of 2 colors of trees. These paths must start with 1 color of tree, but can continue. So here, the 1 starts here, and it goes all the way to the 8. So even though you cut through other colors of trees, that's fine, that's still a path. But you have to create paths of ascending order. Paths may span multiple rows or columns, but they must begin and end with the same species. During your turn, you'll be drawing 2 cards. You can draw from the draw pile or either player's discard pile. You will then play a card, and then you will have to discard a card. Now, scoring, the kind of unique thing about this game and the hand management comes in at scoring, you'll still have a full hand. You must have the highest sum of species in your hand to score that species of trees. There's a little bit of a trick. If you hold the 8, but another player holds the 1 of that species, your 8 becomes a 0, and therefore your 8 is useless. And then whoever has the higher numbers left from that will win that species, or the right to score that species, and then score it and possibly win. It plays well turn-based or real-time, so you can see scores coming up here. But if you like that, it's a pretty well-known game. If you like it, check it out on BGA. Tulip and Rose, on the other hand, not as well known. Came out in 2022. Currently has a rank of 7.0, but only 41 ratings. It is a I cut, you choose mechanics auction style game where you actually have the ability to buy back the auction if you don't like the price you sell it for. The game plays in about 25 minutes real time, and this is a game that BGA recommends not to play turn-based, but to play in real time. I think that just comes down to bidding and stuff to move it much quicker. I've yet to finish my game. I've in a 3-player game that's taken forever, so I would agree with that. I split my hand into 3 different sets. We have set 2 and 3. We've already auctioned off set 1 that this player here won, but they're going to bid back and forth because I'm the splitter. And then after the current bid, currently it's at 10. It started at 8. But then if I don't like what the bid comes out, I can actually pay a certain amount of money and actually get the cards back. So an interesting splitting option. You know, maybe you could split it so you know that you're going to get it back or so on. There's some special order option variant in the game that you can put out to kind of give you a path. But then you're going to score points based on your flowers that you have. Like I said, I haven't finished it, so I don't know a whole lot more than that. But there's that one if you're interested in that bidding, I choose, you split, or I split, you choose game. And for our beta games, we have Aero. It's a reprint of a German game. If we go to the BGG link, it actually takes us to Sausage Sizzle. So I think it's a reprint of that game. Rated 6.6, and it has just a really light rating of 1.5. It's just a simple dice chucking game with a little bit of Yahtzee style rules. Each turn you're going to roll the 8 dice. 4 of them are criminals, and the other 4 will have number values. After each roll, you have to unlock at least 1 dice, and then you re-roll the rest. Once you're done, you'll arrest one of the criminals based on your results. Your score is calculated by multiplying the dice that show the number of criminals, the lowest value you rolled. So 3 clowns, and the lowest dice of 2 would score you 6 points. But beware, if you roll a snake eyes of 1, it drags your score down, unless you roll 4 snake eyes, which happens to be 7. Each criminal can only be arrested once. If you can't arrest a new one, you're forced to take a 0. The game ends after 6 rounds, and then whoever has the highest points win. Overall, it was fine. I played 1 game of it, and I had enough. But if you like dice, luck rolling games, it's there for you to check out. Then we had Fled. Fled is a tile placement strategy game that came out in 2024. It takes about 27 minutes on BGA, and it works well 2 to 4 players, voted best with 3. It has a rating of 6.0 on BGG, but just with 73 ratings, and then a weight of 2.50. So in Fled here, you're going to be building your inventory and trying to escape the prison before others do. On your turn, you're going to add a room tile to the prison to expand it out, eventually getting to the woods where you can escape. You have to use tools to move between tiles and avoid getting shackled by the warden, or you lose points. To escape, you'll have to be near the forest, you'll have to have the right tools, and the first player to do gains 5 victory points. The game ends when someone escapes, or when someone can't draw back up to 5 cards. Overall, this one was interesting. I like the placement. There's this system here where you'll be judging on where you can be. This whistle here shows where you can be at, which rooms you can be in, so the warden can't arrest you and move you to the solitary confinement. But then you'll be gaining objects, expanding out, and then eventually escaping. So if you like that kind of style, check that one out. Then we have Kokeshi. We have a tile placement engine building game, I think. Newer game, not a whole lot of votes. Rated 7.7 currently, came out in 2024. Voted best 2 to 3. There is no solo version on BGA currently. There are 5 steps of the game. First, you're going to advance your doll, so you can choose which one you want to advance up. Then when you land, like when this guy gets to here, you get to do this action. and that could trigger onto multiple dolls moving up. But basically, when you move a doll into a white space, it moves down to the bottom, and then you take one of these tiles here and add it to your board. You'll eventually be moving these animals over, collecting here, scoring more points, and so on. Overall, it's very interesting. I like the kind of building on this. There's not a whole lot on BGG about this, but it was really cool. I like the combos that it created. I like how you had to kind of plan out. You do lose points if you have similar colors next to each other, so you have to be kind of careful with that. Like, you wouldn't want to take this yellow and put it next to this yellow because you'll lose points at the end of the game. So if you like this little puzzle combo heavy, check out that one. And then lastly, we had Coffee Rush. Coffee Rush came out in 2023. It's rated 7.1 currently with a lot of ratings. Voted best with 3 and has a weight of 1.8. This one here is a pretty light game as well. You have 2 workers. During your turn, you're going to activate your workers. They're going to move 3 spaces, and they're going to collect resources on every spot that they move to. You cannot stop at a spot with someone, so you have to avoid that. Then you're going to pour those ingredients into cups. You have 3 of them to pour them into. And then after that, you're going to try to complete these orders. Once orders have been completed, they'll get completed in this pile, and then they'll slide down. You lose points if orders are not completed. After completing so many orders, you can actually get these abilities to allow you to collect 2 ingredients when you move on to another meeple, move diagonal, and then so on. Overall, this one's light, but it's kind of fun. I like the aspect of trying to figure out where to move to get the most resources, when I should let an order fall off, and so on. Some interesting updates on a couple games. First, Trailblazer, it's a couple weeks old, but there's an animal expansion now if you play that game. Heat, not a whole lot added, but the tunnel version is physically came out, so they added the purple card of the game, which means now we can play 8 players, and maybe hopefully someday the tunnel version will come out, the expansion. Obsession here has some updates there. You can read there. I'm not totally familiar with the Obsession. I played a couple times, but basically small little tweaks and a couple additions. And then lastly, Age of Innovation. They added a solo mode, so if you're a big solo mode, and they added a way to reverse snake draft. Well, from Pig of the Week is Welcome to the Moon. I just really like the Flip and Right series. I'm a big fan of the first 2. I actually own the first 2. I don't own this one physically, but I just really enjoy it. I really hope that they add the rest of the really cool play campaign through this. And I think having the solo is a lot of fun. I played it a couple times solo. Well, I've been the Digital War Gamer. As always, good luck and have fun.